Jean and the Demon Lord begin to fight each other, but they are both evenly matched. Jean tries to use Talk no Jutsu on the Demon Lord, but it wasn't working. The Demon Lord powers up and launches a huge attack, but Jean manages to block the attack. The Demon Lord launches another attack, and Jean activates Super Saiyan Green and deflects his attack back at him, but he deflects the attack into a building. While the building is falling, Jean sees a boy fall with it. He takes the boy and then retreats from the fight. Meanwhile, Mio is having a dream about her big brother playing with her basketballs. While at breakfast, she looks at her brother but gets nervous after remembering her dream. At school, Basara ran into his nurse who was concerned about his well-being. The nurse left and told Basara he will see him later in her office. Basara enters a room where he sees a student complaining that the student committee won't let him add fireworks to the sports festival. He decides to destroy the festival since he can't get what he wants. He tries to punch the girl, but Basara steps in and stops him. He tries to punch Basara, but he dodges and steps on his foot, making him fall. Nurse Chisato enters, and Nanao uses her powers to put the boys under a genjutsu. Chisato then takes the boys to her office with her to discipline them. Sakasaki calls Basara outside and tells him to be cautious around Chisato because she seems suspicious. Later, Basara gets ambushed by a barrier and a group of zombies. He tried to fight back, but his attack had no effect. They launch an attack at him, but he gets saved by Kurumi. She used lightning to fry their brains to break the spell that was on them. They erased the memories of the people being controlled, then leave the scene. They got home and called the girls, but they didn't answer. They went upstairs and saw the girls on the floor acting like dogs. Basara was confused, but Maria pushed him to the ground and took off his shoes. Mio and Yuki start to look at him, which makes his lollipop start to rise. They proceed to do very weird and unexplainable activities with his feet while calling him Big Brother. They eventually experience intense pleasure from the weird activities. After the activity, they all experience an increase in their powers. Yuki explains that since they are Basara's servants, deepening their bond with him will increase their power. Kurumi called them crazy, but Maria told her she was just jealous because she was immature and a man had never touched her before. Kurumi denies these claims and said she's more mature than Yuki and her melons are also bigger than hers. Maria said she was lying, but she said she will prove it. Maria cast a spell on her to make her start craving Basara's lollipop. Basara decides that if she wants his lollipop, then he's gonna have to give it to her. Yuki also decides to join them. Yuki takes off her jack and prepares her. Basara starts to play with her basketballs while she makes lady noises. Yuki lifts up her arms and starts to how do I even explain this? Basara finds it interesting, so he lays her down and tells her it's okay. He plays with her basketballs while cleaning her armpits. Later, Basara stands on a tower like Batman and wonders who is trying to kill him. Basara swears to defeat his unidentified enemies, whoever it may be. Jean and the boy he rescued come out of a river in a forest. The next day, Basara and Nanao are tasked to hand out flyers for the sports festival. Basara explains that he was shocked that Donu apologized to Rika after the incident. Later, Basara meets up with Mio and Yuki to talk about the person who is targeting them. He tells them to keep their guard up and make sure to protect everyone at the school. Kurumi uses her spirits to search the school for any enemy. The festival starts, and we get to see some fan service. Basara and his servants prepare for a race. While running, Basara notices their basketballs bouncing, which makes him bricked up. They get to the end where they have to burst a balloon. They tried really hard but struggled to burst the balloon. The spectators were shocked and couldn't believe what they were seeing. Eventually, they were able to burst the balloons, and they fell to the ground while covered in liquid. Their clothes got destroyed, and they somehow got tied up, which makes no sense. It turns out it was just Maria's imagination, and the balloon event didn't actually happen. In the real world, Basara and his servants won the race. Suddenly, the school festival gets attacked by a possessed Donu. Basara tells the girls to protect the people while he fights Donu. He uses his sword to destroy the tornado, however. 2 more tornadoes appear. He continues to destroy the tornadoes and asks who attacked the school. Nanao shows up, which makes him confused, but Nanao kicks him into the school. Nanao reveals that he's a vampire. Meanwhile, Kurumi takes down Donu, but she realizes he was being controlled. In the hallway, Basara confronts Nanao about attacking the school, but he accuses Basara of trying to kill him. He attacks Basara and cuts him on the face. He tries to attack again, but Basara pulls out his sword and blocks the attack. Nanao starts crying and tells Basara he just wanted to live a quiet life. They continue to fight in the hallway, while Basara wonders why Nanao is attacking him. Yuki and Mio try to help, but they couldn't break the barrier to get inside. Basara manages to defeat Nanao and tells her to forgive him. He tries to escape, but he gets confronted by Chisato. He attacks her, but she stops his sword with one hand. Basara realized she is the one who is behind the attack. Sakasaki launches a surprise attack at Chisato and distracts her long enough for them to escape. Basara thanks Sakasaki for saving him, and he explains that he helped because he's friends with Basara's father. He explains that he doesn't know much about Chisato, but he knows that she has powers equal to S-rank demons, and he thinks she wants to take over the school. She used her powers to control everyone, including Nanao. He tells Basara that they need to come up with a plan of attack. However, Basara attacks him. Basara explains that Sakasaki is the real enemy because if Chisato was any enemy, his father would have told him about her. Sakasaki confirms Basara's theory and attacks him. He then transforms into a Mutuo from Timyu. He explains that he is a god and his race is the true source of everything. The demons are trying to get revenge on God, but the humans got powers to stop the demons from getting revenge. Sakasaki then launches a wave to make Basara kneel before him, but Basara dodges and attacks him. Sakasaki pulls Kurumi out of a portal and threatens to kill her if he doesn't surrender. Basara gives up, but Sakasaki cuts off his arm. Basara is in pain after having his arm cut off and struggles to pick up his sword. Sakasaki says he wants to pound Basara into the ground until he is satisfied. But seeing him suffer was good enough for him. Suddenly, Basara gets up and hits him into the wall. Basara has activated his plot armor called Berserker Mode, and he heals himself. Basara was about to kill Sakasaki, but Chisato enters the room and stops him. She explains that Sakasaki has unleashed the sealed power inside Basara. She also explains that Sakasaki is actually an angel named Ornis who killed Sakasaki and pretended to be him. Chisato knew about Ornis, but she ignored him because the real Sakasaki was a disgusting loser who forced himself on women. However, she can't allow Ornis to kill Basara. Ornis throws a spear at Basara, but Chisato stops it. She activates Super Saiyan Green and powers up. Ornis starts to poop his pants after seeing Chisato's power. He begs for his life, but Chisato kills him and calls him a weak loser. She also used her powers to calm down Basara and take him to her office. She was jealous that Basara was performing rituals with his servants, but not her, so she decided to take advantage of the opportunity. She went to Basara and told him to expel all his rage into her. Basara aggressively plays with her basketballs while inflating them with his mouth. They then continued to exercise passionately together. However, all of that was an illusion in Basara's mind that Chisato used to calm him down. She also changed his memories so he doesn't remember anything that happened between them.
You're a victim!
Here we go, CSI.
Later, Nanao explains that the humans with powers used to kill his family, which is why he wanted to kill Basara when he was under the spell. Later, Basara thinks about the fight, but he has a feeling that there is something missing from his memories. His servants entered and apologized for being useless during the fight. Maria explains that it's time for him to increase their powers again. He starts by playing with Mio's basketballs while she calls him Big Brother. He then proceeds to play with Yuki's peach while she calls his name. He then cleans all the dirt from Kurumi's body. Suddenly, Maria's sister walks in and interrupts them. She tells them that they are invited to the demon realm by the moderate faction. Meanwhile, Leohart and his supporters are seeking an ancient weapon in order to defeat the moderate faction. They try to come up with a plan to attack that will follow the rules of the council. A masked guy tells them that Basara's group is coming back to the demon realm. They can claim that Basara is a threat and use him as an excuse to attack them. Elsewhere, Lucia informs Wilbert that the Basara household will be coming to the demon realm. Basara questions why they need to go to the demon realm, but Maria's sister said she doesn't know anything. Basara was upset that they wanted them to visit without any explanation. However, They had to go to prevent any conflict. They asked for Mio's opinion, and she explains that she's the former Demon Lord's daughter, so she has to go to the demon realm. They get ready for their trip, and Maria's sister comes to get them through a portal. This is the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe for more videos.